I lost 50 pounds by doing less in pure honesty. If you feel like you're doing everything right, but the scale still won't move, I've been there. At 5'2" and 190 pounds, I was convinced the only path forward was forcing myself to run. I was exhausted, constantly hungry, and completely disconnected from my body. The harder I pushed, the more stuck I felt. The turning point came when I stopped listening to the fitness industry and started listening to my body instead. The biggest lie we've been sold is that weight loss has to be complicated, that it takes punishing workouts, cutting out entire food groups, and suffering through meals you don't enjoy. It doesn't. My transformation came down to two simple things: walking and a calorie deficit. That's it. The calorie deficit changed everything. Weight loss is fundamentally about energy balance, using slightly more than you consume. For years, I was obsessing over clean eating while completely ignoring the basic math. It doesn't matter how healthy your meals look. Without a deficit, the scale won't move. I stopped labeling foods as good or bad and started focusing on portions and overall intake. A modest deficit of 300 to 500 calories a day was enough to create steady, sustainable progress without starving, without restriction, and without guilt. Then I ditched running and started walking. It felt almost too simple to work, but the results were immediate. Walking is low intensity, steady state cardio, which means it burns fat without spiking your appetite the way intense exercise does. I aimed for 45 to 60 minutes most days, sometimes outside, sometimes on a treadmill at a high incline. I didn't dread it. It became my decompression time, my podcast time, my time. That consistency was everything. I also added light strength training a couple of times a week to preserve muscle and keep my metabolism steady. But the real drivers of my transformation were walking in moderation, nothing more. The results: 50 pounds gone, 190 down to 140, 10 inches off my hips, a tight size 10 to a comfortable size 4. But more than the numbers, I have more energy now than I did in my 20s. I wake up rested, I feel strong. I finally feel at home in my own body. And it didn't take punishment to get here, it took patience. If you're ready to simplify, start here. Track your food for 1 week without judgment, schedule 3 30-minute walks, and practice one small act of moderation. Don't overhaul everything at once. Just start. Your body doesn't need a battle, it needs balance.